So Caitlyn Clark revealed her squad goals, sort of. This is a play on words, a pun, if you will, just having a little fun with Caitlyn Clark's latest interview. She did an appearance with, I believe his name pronunciation is David Eichel of Swarmcast 24/7 Sports. I will link the full piece in the description, of course, as always, to give credit where it is due. Huge get anytime you get Caitlyn Clark, who doesn't do that much media, really, particularly in the off season, but she did talk about a couple of things about the WNBA off season. One being how it's going to benefit her, which I've talked about almost endlessly. Every time we've seen a workout or training video, I've discussed how Caitlyn Clark is going to have time to work on her game that she otherwise hasn't had before. She went straight from college to the pros, grueling schedule to start the WNBA season. It's a scary thought for the rest of the league. I've articulated that on many occasions, but she said it herself too, which of course adds fuel to that. And then the other was Unrivaled and Kate Martin's performance at Unrivaled. Kate Martin has looked great thus far at Unrivaled. Obviously, Kate and Caitlyn have a bit of a relationship, a little bit of a history. And that was one of the things she talked about, very tongue-in-cheek, the idea of teaming up with Kate Martin and how Kate Martin has played at Unrivaled.
But now she's getting a little more run and getting to play and playing free. And I think people are just seeing her confidence grow and grow. So just like I said, I'm really happy for her. And, hopefully I can recruit her to the Fever somehow, some way one day. Who knows? I'm going to try to figure that out. I don't know. But it's my goal at some point in my career to team up with Kate again.
Yeah.
We'll see if it happens. People don't get too excited.
We got a few years on that too.
Yeah.
I'm sure we're making her mark too. Plus, who knows? You might like playing against her just as much as
that's true.
Being her teammate.
We need to have that little beef and that little battle. So we might have to keep her away from us just so we can keep going at her.
And Kate has looked great at Unrivaled thus far. There's no question about that. And it's funny that Caitlyn emphasized exactly what Kate had said about playing free. Those were the words Kate Martin used when she talked about her Unrivaled excellence. So it's fascinating to see it echoed. I don't know if that's because they talked or just they think alike. Obviously, they play alike in the way that they understand where to be on the floor together. They had so much success together. And I think a lot of people are excited about the possibility of what Kate Martin can do with the Valkyries, Caitlyn Clark included, despite her saying she wants to recruit her and team up again. Clearly, she was kind of joking around there, playfully presenting the idea of teaming up on the Fever one day, of course. And then there is the work that Caitlyn Clark is putting in with the Fever. And we've seen Keith Porter and the new player development coach, Keith Porter, and her working together in the gym. We've seen the footage come out. We saw the 50 out of 54 threes. We've seen the bag work, the finishing work, the floaters, all that stuff, the stuff that they were putting in work in the lab. And Caitlyn Clark actually talked about that, like I said, in regards to some of the points I've been making. I feel as if she was speaking directly to me. I'm just kidding. She obviously wasn't.
It'll be really special.
You've been a little bit busy though too.
I try to
obviously. Well, I was going to say with Connor being the assistant coach of Butler, Patrick playing there too with the Fever.
Yeah.
You have a new strength coach or player development coach at the Fever now too, right?
Yeah, new player development coach came over with Steph White from Connecticut, and it's been a lot of fun. It's been fun to be in Indianapolis and working out with him. And Keith just loves the game of basketball, you can tell, and he puts a lot of time into it. It puts a lot of time into, what we're going to work on every single day, but how does that look in like a long-term plan of my development, and how does that all work together, and not overwhelming me with new things that we can work on, but just adding little things and refining certain things that can help me be much more successful in year two, and then also just trying to get stronger and be in the weight room a lot. So it's been fun. I feel like this is the first time I've really had a chance to really work on my game and work on my craft and be really focused on it. And obviously that was hard. In college, even going into my senior year was really the last time I could work on things and add things. But at the same time, we had our foreign trip, so we were practicing, and it was almost felt like the regular season at some points with how many practices we were allowed. And then we're gone in all of August too, traveling overseas. So I feel like this is really my first time in quite some time where I can really just like focus and be in the gym by myself and with trainers and rebounders or whatever, and really work on things that I need to get better at.
Obviously, that makes a lot of sense. It shows you her commitment to her craft. But again, when I say the scary thing, it's not just to like, play it up. It's the truth when you look at a rookie season, right? I mean, Candace Parker's rookie season is probably the only one you can even mention in the same stratosphere. Different kind of player. It's always been harder for guards to adjust at the WNBA level. I mean, she made first team all WNBA. She was fourth in the MVP voting. She produced more points between points and assists than any player in the history of the league ever had. And that was at her worst. And that was having played 11 games in 20 days. So, working on pacing, how to navigate screens, how to shift gears out on the floor, variety of finishes near the basket, finishing through contact, refining the shot, being able to take that three-pointer going the other way than she normally does. She likes to drive right, fade left. So mixing that up, getting that in between game, again, the variety of finishes, all that stuff that she talked about, she's going to put it in. Now she's got a new staff working with her, a new coach. On top of that, forget the player development coach, who seems like he's doing a great job, but a new head coach as well to implement strategies that will change things. Fresh legs, that makes a huge deal for any player, especially when it comes to shooting and field goal percentage. Fresh legs is just can't account for that. So, I mean, we're still, it's the longest offseason in history, right? We got February, March, 3 months away, really, 3-4 months away until the Fever are actually back in action. That is a long time for Caitlyn Clark to be locked in the lab. And as a student of the game, as a competitor, and then just as a prodigious talent, there's no way she's not better. There's just no way. And when she talked about putting on weight, she looks bigger. You can see it. She looks physically stronger. And Clark is very athletic. People don't give her credit for that. But like the way she moves explosively with pace and speed frenetically the whole game is not a normal athletic thing to do. The way she finishes for a guard is not normal. And you put that a little bit of extra weight on it to be able to deal with getting hit and finishing through contact. I'd expect her to, it's hard for her to get too much better, but shoot better, finish better, and get to the free throw line more on top of that. And yeah, all that stuff. For all the acquisitions that the Fever can make in the offseason, whatever moves they make for the roster, upgrading Caitlyn Clark is a move that seems like basically a guarantee.